Um, I'm gonna I'm calling topics like this live research. Like we do the research on some things real time. You know what I'm saying? Because this topic is real unique. I'm gonna get right to it. Let me get the whole screen up. All right, here we go. Welcome to Code Talk, Season 1, Episode 40. I'm your host, Victor Vinciant, aka Mr. Accountable Masculinity, and I'm joined by my counterparts. They'll be on screen shortly. If you hadn't already seen them already, as you guessed it, is the other artist, Antoine Christopher, and my man, Cavi Wallace. So, today's topic is about domestic violence without men involved. Who's responsible? Very simple question. We're going to do some live research and we're going to try to figure out what we get out of this stuff. And so here's the gist of the questions, right? Oftentimes, when the conversation of domestic violence is brought up, it usually is discussed in the context of conflict between a man and a woman. But what about the domestic violence cases that occur in homes where men are not present? Who is responsible for those events? Who are the parties involved in the conflict? What happens to the children that are related to the involved parties? So this question or this topic was really triggered by my man down at the bottom, Cavi Wallace. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and let me get him his round of applause and get his flowers up here. I like to use my trinkets to let everybody know this is a big deal. All right, without further ado, you don't get nothing else after that. But no, seriously, Gabby, remember one night I was talking to you, and we were talking. You brought up a topic about shelters and how like one of your friends visited a shelter one time, and it was just a bunch of girls in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the question came about because most shelters are populated by victims of some form of abuse, right?
Right. Domestic
So
violence, right.
so so I got to thinking about it. I was like, man, that'd be a great topic to discuss because people get displaced all the time by like violence in the homes and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's varying stats all across the board, but I figured this would be a good topic to do like live research on, and saying pop the screen up and ask decent questions, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you want to expand on? Can you expand on like what prompted this? You know what I'm saying, from that conversation. I don't remember every single detail.
Well, I think what this conversation came from is, like you said, I had a friend going to an actual, place where you had a bunch of, I guess, underage, females that had gotten into fights with their mothers, and so the city that this person stays in opened this facility for just that. I guess like maybe female troubled youth, and it was packed. You know what I'm saying? It was jam packed, like wall to wall. It was so many, younger females in there. I guess that the mothers just lost control of, or it could have been fathers that lost control of. I have no idea who it was, but these young girls who just could not be controlled. And a lot of times these girls were sent to these facilities because they would get into physical altercations with their parents. So blow to blow to blow, fist to fist. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when you had said, hey, we should look up, the statistics on abuse or domestic abuse amongst just females without the man even being in the picture, and see where that stands. And I was like, yeah, that seems like it'd be an interesting, topic to roll with, and it'd be even interesting to do the research on it to see what that looks like. And I think that's where we were at with that, so now we're here talking about it.
Right. So so I think that the other data that goes along with this is that we talk about um, single mothers leading home ownership, education, being able to be self sustained and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on the surface, it would seem as though the the risk of domestic violence would diminish without the adversarial relationships that some women and men have with each other. But we don't talk enough about like where it originates. And just like we talked about all of the different conflicts that women have internally that spill over into the relationship space, where it comes down to, like, Antoine talks about the dating market and what's out here, all of the other abuse stuff that we talked about like last week, with the different SA events that get experienced, the conflicts between just internally within the family. So, and how does that impact as it trickles down from person to person, perception to perception, and how we connect? And I think that's where the divide in the matriarchal versus the patriarchal community, what I'm saying, has clearly defined lines. Because if you don't have men in the house and you're still having domestic violence events, well, what does that look like? And also between as a model, let's start off. Well, first, let me introduce Antoine and let him, what I'm saying, get going and welcome the audience before we get deep into this topic. Go ahead and say something to the audience, Antoine. That's all you got? You didn't even have your mic on any other time you got? Like, I'm disappointed now, man. You muted.
I got nothing to say. That was it.
Okay. So let's look this up first. Let's look up all domestic violence and just see what the split is, what I'm saying, and how what's reported and what's not. How about that? Let's start there. And I'll pull the screen up. Because I know you'll be forthcoming with the data. We're just going to look at it straight on, and we will go from there. Because we looked up a lot of this stuff before, just in passing.
Well, now are we talking about abusive mothers to their children?
We just want to start with all domestic violence cases first, just a general search, because we got to narrow it down. We got to look at how it compares. Is it higher or is it lower? Because I think what we looked at the other day, I think it's like 43%. What was a big number that that a lot of women initiate domestic violence disputes, and I want to see if that number still holds true against other data, because you got different aggregates. So let's see here. Antoine, what'd you do this past weekend? While Cavi brings up,
what did I what?
Yeah, what'd you do this past weekend while Cavi brings up that data?
What did I do, man? I went for dinner with buddies, same guys as always, and then went clubbing, had a nice time. More like a winery. I wouldn't call it clubbing because it was just a winery where people test a bunch of wines, which was pretty good. As a non-drinker, I tell you one thing: as a non-drinker, when you do test alcohol, you really taste it, boy. Yeah, I gotta admit, you really got a good taste for it. You may not know what you're drinking, but it sure does taste good. That's all I can do. I'm being honest. That's all I can do.
As far as like overall in America, I'm not really getting a
pull your screen up.
Gauge. Hold on, because it's like I said, it's not giving me a good gauge of what it is. I don't know why that is. That's crazy. It's like not giving me a high percentage.
Let's just say all domestic violence. Abuse and
maybe I'm wording it wrong.
Yeah.
What?
So this is what I got so far. I'll pull my screen up while you still look for some more. We'll go back and forth. I'll help with that.
Okay, I got something right here. Come
on.
Here?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, sometimes it don't work out like I wanted to, but that's cool. All right. Hold on. Let me get this thing up here. Just kind of get it started here.
Gotcha.
All right. So there we go. All right. So, are you showing it here?
Coming right up. All right. So approximately 1 in 4 children experience child abuse or neglect in their lifetime. Maltreated children. So
Of maltreated children, 18% are abused physically, 78% are neglected, and 9% are abused sexually. So we'll say 18% are abused physically, so, and of course, that they say that the abuser is normally the parent, so
obviously,
that's a big thing. So when I looked this one up right here, I said, how common are abusive mothers? And it says in the United States, perpetrators of child abuse are more likely to be the parents of the child rather than the non-parent. In 2020, about 191,450 children in the United States were abused by their mother. Furthermore, 125,489 children were abused by their father in that year. So, women seem to be more abusive to their kids than fathers, and I'm guessing that's because they are the caretaker
primary, yeah,
of.
primary
Yeah,
custodian, yeah,
yeah.
like,
So
mm-hmm.
so there you go with that. So this is what it looks like, without any type of male influence in the house. So we got 191,450 children were abused by their mothers, which is that's a pretty good amount. It's definitely a pretty good amount. So that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And let's see here. Uh, I'm looking at on the same website. Let me pull this one down and I'm share this other screen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what's up? Boom. So I went with the general search, and
Mm-hmm.
it starts at the top, with the CDC um, saying that 41% of women and 26% of men experience intimate partner violence in their lifetime under contact sexual violence, physical violence, and or stalking.
Right. Now
And
this is not with kids. These are adults, right?
yeah, yeah, that's why I want to start with like all abuse. I want to get it all the way down
Okay. You
to
want to put it all out there.
yes,
Okay.
they start with all abuse. Like children are always going to be the end item recipient because like what we started off with is the fact that these shelters are populated mostly with kids.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the crux of it is that you're talking about, okay, well, which households are producing this situation the most?
Mm-hmm.
Because um, we kind of have to look at the trickle down effect of how much abuse impacts the kids, obviously. So we got to
Mm-hmm.
start with the adults first. So uh, this source also says that family and domestic violence is a common problem in the United States, affecting an estimated 10 million people every year. As many as 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men are victims of domestic violence.
Yeah. So, and let's make this clear. When you say 1 in 4 women, that's probably an accurate. It's probably a little off, but that's most likely a really good, accurate,
Based on what's
um,
reported.
right, based on what's reported. Because the 1 in 9 men, men are not reporting. That's one thing that hurts us as men is we don't report it.
They don't call it.
Because it's a shame factor in there. Especially if you're a well-built man, and you got a great stature and everything. You're not going to call, the police on a woman that's 4 foot, or 5'2" or 5'3", and she slapped you upside your
200
head and
pounds less,
scratched it.
weighs
Right,
200
200
pounds
pounds
less
less.
than you. Yeah.
Right, right. Because what's going to happen is the script may get flipped on you. They'll be like, no, no way, this pretty little girl right here did this to you, man. You
Yeah.
did it. Get your ass in the car. We going to jail. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
just like the video from a couple weeks ago when what was the lady she talked about um accountability amongst women, and that we did the
Right,
6 minute
right, right,
video
right.
on.
Right.
This is kind of a pivot point off of that conversation, because plenty of men have experienced being incarcerated or having to deal with legal situations, even if they call the police, and in some cases their life has been taken.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
which
I've always wondered what percentage it actually is. What percentage of men go through that? I mean, what percentage of men have been hit and did not report it? You know what I'm saying? That's always been a question of mine because, like I said, I know brothers personally that I know that got hit by their women and did not report it. So that's a shame, but yeah, we just kind of discussed why it's like that. It is what it is what it is.
So,
you know.
How often do women initiate domestic violence incidents? Let's see what. According to some studies, women initiate domestic violence incidents as often as men.
Damn. where did that come from? Like what source?
A 2006 study. Hang on a second. Let me look at some of the other stuff that's on here.
If that's a 2006 study, it's only gotten worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is. We just want to see what's been documented at this point.
Right.
That study's almost 2 years old. It said 2000 study a study of 453 cohabitating couples with children found that women initiated minor aggression in 33.8% of the cases compared to 23.3% for men. Women also initiated severe aggression in 11.5% of the cases compared to 8.4% for men.
So they're initiating it higher than men.
Yeah. and that's in a cohabitating experience.
Right. Well, you would think so because I mean, honestly, women are just more emotional than men.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And of course, that kind of goes without saying. Like we have to say it. That's the problem. It's been going without being said, right? So then you just mentioned about the men not reporting it, right?
Right, of course.
So that's what comes underneath what I would interpret as non-reciprocal violence. Like it happened to them, they didn't say anything. And according to one study, women were the perpetrators in 70.7% of non-reciprocal violence relationships. Another study found that women were the perpetrators in more than 70% of non-reciprocal violence relationships, and that when violence was reciprocal, women were often the first to strike.
Yeah. So uncomfortable conversations. That's what this podcast is all about. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure any woman that's watching this right now probably is checked out. Like, oh no.
I don't even care. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to watch this because they know they didn't slap some man upside the head for some crazy reason.
They know it. You definitely heard grandmama lightly saying, sometimes you got to pop him upside his head. You know what I'm saying? They say it's sweet, but they really mean that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No doubt.
Self-defense. According to one analysis, 75% of participants stated that they had used violence to defend themselves. In another study, 39% of women arrested for intimate partner violence cited self-defense as their motivation. Let's see. However, that's here it is right here. However, other studies have found that men are more likely to initiate domestic violence. Now that is why it's so imbalanced, because we just read where the women were the initiator, the aggressor, and then there's a however. So
right.
So the mixed then now you got to know what the source of the rebuttal is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like you got to read the sources and see exactly where all this stuff is coming from. No doubt.
Yeah, so definitely want to see the mixed bag of it, right? First physical contact, according to one study, men made the first physical contact in 66% of the cases, while women made the first physical contact in 15% of the cases. Physical aggression, according to another study, physical aggression was coded as all or almost all from the man in 51% of the cases, with 30% being more from the man than the woman. Almost 24% of our relationships had some violence, and 49.7%, were reciprocally violent. In non-reciprocally violent relationships, women were the perpetrator in more than 70% of the cases. So in the cases where somebody didn't fight back and they just didn't, you know what I'm saying, capitulate to the violence of it, the women were the aggressor. because that
Yeah.
and that kind of makes sense because most men aren't gonna uh risk, you know what I'm saying, their freedom or their safety, and they just kind of know that everything is stacked against them, you know.
Yeah, they already know that. Right. Absolutely.
So when you look at it that way, right? Now we can go. We already know what this looks like with cohabitating men and women. It's a mixed bag, but by and large, most of this data says that women initiate. You know,
Right.
and well, being are less likely to respond to violence that women initiate, but it's also saying that women initiate. I mean, one study says men initiate 66% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So without knowing the full depth and breadth of every one of the studies that they're using to get all of this data from, you know what I'm saying? That's what we got. So what you got over here on the screen?
So if we read this right here, it says around, and this is completely men, completely out of this right here, right? So we're going to look at, the domestic violence amongst women, period. So around 44% of lesbian and 61% of bisexual women have experienced forms of rape and physical violence by their intimate partner, as compared to 35% of straight women. 26% of gay men and 37% of bisexual men have experienced forms of rape and physical violence by an intimate partner, compared to 29% of straight men. So if we read that first part right there, that completely takes men out of the equation. This is just lesbian women, pretty much. So 44% of women in lesbian relationships have experienced some form of rape or physical violence by an intimate partner. I didn't know that was that high. So we're talking about almost half of all lesbian relationships.
Yeah.
Why isn't this talked about
Come
amongst
on,
the
man.
amongst the LGBTQIA community? I wonder why that's not talked about. You know what I'm saying? That's a little weird. You would think that, when the NFL is running domestic violence ads, they would be putting that up, making sure that people are aware that that's something that happens, because it looks like, the lesbian women are experiencing, a higher rate of rape and physical violence by an intimate partner than, the straight woman, which is 35%. So they're experiencing higher. So why, when, like I said, when the NFL is running these domestic violence ads, aren't they putting lesbian women up here?
Man.
Because they're at a higher rate, apparently. I mean, this is let's see what source this is. This is DC Volunteer Lawyers Project. So this is a relevant source. It's
Hmm.
definitely a relevant source. So at the end of the day, it's kind of weird that they don't talk about that, isn't
Yeah, I
it?
find that to be very, very interesting, considering you know, violence against women is always a sensitive talking point, and a major concern, especially, like not without, well, the social media narratives always point us into these directions at some point. Just like we've been talking about the bear, the infamous bear in the woods situation, you know what I'm saying? With people deciding that it's safer to be in the woods with a bear. Well, in some of the research that we found, it looked like sometimes the bear is the woman too.
Oh yeah. At a higher rate than man.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wonder what causes that. You know what I'm saying, amongst two women. Why that domestic abuse percentage is so high amongst two women like that. That's a good question. Maybe have someone's lesbian to come on and see why it's so high. How do those arguments, get to that level, to the point where punches are being thrown?
yeah. Like when did keeping your hands to yourself um, get thrown out of the window? You know what I'm saying? In that respect, because
Hmm.
I think generally speaking, most people know they need to keep their hands to themselves, right?
Yeah, most people do. Right.
Yeah, but occasionally there's gonna come a situation where that's not possible. So it's 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 not the I guess what I'm looking to say is we have to figure out how to frame the conversation where everybody gets a fair shake, because
Hmm.
when in this whole equality conversation that everybody's been part of, a lot of people believe in equal hands.
Hmm.
And no matter how it looks, that you know what I'm saying, regardless of how tacky it might sound, how it looks, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a real thing because, like you just said, like when you look at that number, that's 4 out of 10 people. If you lined
Yeah,
up 10 women, four of them are either four of them are the abuser.
are being abused, right?
Yeah,
At that point, yeah. So that's a lot. That's a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the fact that no one is even having that conversation is pathetic. You
yeah,
know,
of course.
but you and I know why that's like that.
Oh yeah, we do. We definitely do. And that is a part of why we're having this particular dialogue, because it has to be discussed, because it's a pointy topic. So I'm gonna pull up this video real quick, see if I can get it to uh, play over here. Boom. I want to check this out.
I could not resist, so I had to look it up. From the Office of National Statistics, from a 2019 study, in ever increasing numbers, we are now at a lesbian divorce rate of 72%. So the top 4 reasons that they are reporting getting divorced is feeling ignored, inequality in the partnership, adultery, and domestic violence. Personally, I feel like this lends some weight to men's arguments and complaints about how women are behaving in relationships. Because when you have lesbian divorce statistics that look like that, the girls are kind of telling on themselves.
Yep.
Well, well,
Absolutely.
uh, like and again, she's looking at whatever data she's looking at, right?
Right.
And but the very fact that it's occurring still brings us back to, like when I talk about rule number 2, why you don't argue with women.
Mm-hmm.
Women need to follow rule number 2. Sounds like also
Mm-hmm.
stop arguing with each other. Like it's just nothing that's gonna come out of it altogether.
And
So
it, to and joking about this a little bit, could you imagine an argument amongst two women that have to live with each other and they're intimate? Like, could you imagine the argument, bro?
mm-mm.
Because in when the argument ensues between men and women, you have a very logical brain making talking points, and you have a very emotional brain making talking points. But eventually, that logical brain usually plays the bigger person. No insult, ladies. I'm not saying that we're somehow, superior to you guys. What I'm saying is when you have that logical brain, normally they're going to play the bigger person. Say, you know what, we've been arguing for 2 hours. It's time to go ahead and bring this to an end.
Yeah, do we want a solution? What
Right,
is
right.
the solution?
What solution can we come to? What compromise can we come to? And usually the man is going to be the first to take that first step to try to find a compromise. Whether that compromise is like, okay, I don't want to talk about it. The woman says, I don't want to talk about it anymore, and we just give her space. That's a compromising solution to kind of calm it down a little bit. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if you got two women with no logical thought there, just two people going at each other emotionally, I can see why the domestic abuse percentage is so high. I can see why.
So interesting enough, I laying the groundwork for just this part of the conversation. That's to start the research and all of that good stuff. It kind of like, so how does that pivot off of um the safety? So are children safer in single parent homes?
No,
It's in
no, no,
some
no.
situations,
Yeah.
or or not, because like a hot button topic, right? That kind of plays into it. Let's just say you got a guy that's responsible for kids in multiple homes. You know what I'm saying? Like as of right now, you're talking about Cam Newton and Nick Cannon, right? Because the the initial thought is that they are creating broken homes. But I've gotten
Mm-hmm.
phone calls about this saying the home may look broken to you, but what if the resources are in place to
See that's where the whole money is our god shit comes into play. You know how that works. So the thing is that when you have a person saying that, that's a person that worships money, And at the end of the day, they say because Cam Newton or Nick Cannon is a millionaire, that they should be able to do whatever they want to do because they're able to financially take care of these kids. So we already know where that argument comes from. That comes from a place of foolishness, to be honest with you. We know that a man that has 8 kids by 3 different damn mothers cannot possibly see all 8 of those kids every damn day and emotionally be attached to those kids every damn day and be there for them in every way, shape, or form emotionally every day. We know that that's impossible. So throw that stupid ass excuse out the goddamn window. That shit don't work. That shit don't fly. Okay, black people, money is not God. Stop. If it were God, how many motherfuckers do we know that are millionaires that committed suicide, hung themselves in a goddamn closet, or their kids committed suicide? If money was God, you know what I'm saying? So let's stop using that bullshit as an excuse. That's not something that you want to use as an excuse. And so many people do because they feel like money is the solution to every goddamn thing. And I've seen those comments under that video, and it's pissing me off. Like, where the fuck? Like, where are y'all at? Like, so if this man provides money, he ain't got to provide anything else. That's it. So the mama can be a complete piece of shit and talk to her children like shit, and not take care of her children emotionally. But as long as they living in a nice house in a subdivision somewhere away from the hood, everything's okay. So that's how pathetic black people are. That's really how pathetic black people are right there, bro. I mean, to be honest with you, they act like bad shit ain't happening in suburbia to your black children. It is. Just because a Benz and a BMW is parked out front don't mean ain't no shit behind that door happening, because there's a lot of shit happening behind that door. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit happening behind that door. But the thing is that we feel like money is our God. So as long as there's a BMW and a Benz parked in front of that front yard, it don't matter what's happening behind the fucking door. And see, that's what that woman was trying to tell. That's what that doctor was trying to tell Cam. Hey, bro, just because the money right don't mean the emotional aspect is right. That's exactly what that means, man. But so I want you to share this one right here for me, Vic. Yeah. So to give you an answer to your question about, single parent homes as far as, rates of children being abused. So the rate of children being abused in a single parent home is 21%. Now, this did not say single parent mother. So for the women out here to say, oh my God, they throwing single mothers at, no, this is the rate of children being abused in single parent homes. So it's 21%. This triples the rate of those of 2-parent homes at 8%.
Yeah, because the other one was 8%. Yeah, that's
right. Ooh. So it tripled the rate. You know what I'm saying? So when you say, are children safer in single parent homes, the answer is no. And the numbers don't lie. And there's a lot of factors that come with that. And I don't mean to be so long-winded about it, but to be honest with you, those factors that come with that is we have to honestly be honest with ourselves. We got to have the hard conversation and say to ourselves, can you build a house better with 10 individuals or 1 individual? Can you build a house better with 2 individuals, more than 1 individual? If you're hanging sheetrock or drywall, whatever you're hanging, is it easier to hang that with 2 individuals or 1 individual? It's easier to hang it with 2 individuals, correct?
Of course.
So at the end of the day, and you're building a house, physically building a house. So the thing is that if you only have this one person that's working, that's providing for these children, she's worn the hell out. You know what I'm saying? If it's a mother, if it's a father, he's worn the fuck out.
Oh, definitely.
So when you're worn out and you're working 2, 3 jobs trying to put food on the table, you don't have any damn help, right? You are physically drained. So when you're physically drained and your children need you emotionally, you are emotionally checked out because you're what? You're physically drained. Have you ever had to care? Have you ever had to try to care for someone after running 5 fucking miles? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, no, you can't do it. You're too busy catching your breath, making sure that you're okay.
And it's true because I can tell you, Cav, I don't care what anybody says. I tried taking care of a dog after I was tired after running or coming back from the gym. I didn't even want to take it for a walk. I was like, that's a dog. And I was like, oh, fuck, I got to take this dog out now? All right, so let's get this over with. Imagine if it was my child wanted to go play at the park.
Exactly.
It's like he wants to go to the park. He wants to go through her balls. I got to. I don't know. The thing is this. It's like we talk about. There's such dysfunction in the community. What's left of it, I should say. It's amazing to me. It's just amazing and why are people? I mean, I don't know about you, but people shouldn't be putting Cam Newton up on a pedestal for what he's doing that's wrong, right? No. I don't want to talk about Cam Newton because you know what? He's right up there. I put him right next to whatever that other idiot with Mariah Carey's exes.
Nick Cannon.
It does the same thing, and I don't know what it is. Like what? You can't blame them for what they say about us with that shit. You can't. It's so there's so many examples, bro. It's disgusting, and we do everything from views and likes. He should have never been talking to that woman about his situation because trying to highlight it and make a spin on it like it's something good. Like, what are we talking about, man? You guys, like when I see people go on TV and talk about it like it's something to be praised about because you have money. Okay, I'm not saying he doesn't have the money to take care of 8 kids, but at the end of the day, those kids are going to be robbing somebody. They don't have the attention. They're not going to be raised like young, productive, men in society. They're going to have their own issues because daddy wasn't home to give them one of these. You know what I mean? It's like I don't get that. Like you're not parenting. Anybody can have a child, but it doesn't mean you're a parent.
Right. In this case, when we talk about celebs that have plenty of money, got plenty of dough, got the best looking houses, all that stuff, right? You look at King, T.I.'s son. Not to just bash T.I.'s son. Look at King. Look at how out of control this boy is. Mm-hmm. And then come to find out, King, he let something go in that last altercation with him and his dad. I was at grandma's house all the time. I wasn't over here. So they wasn't even watching this boy. You know what I'm saying? They probably had a maid watching this boy. So at the end of the day, like, look at that. Like, you come from a gated community. His dad screamed that out. You come from a gated community. Like, that was supposed to make him automatically into a stand-up citizen just because he came from a gated community. No, dude, you got to do some raising.
I'm the guy that believes Will Smith's sons wouldn't have even turned out that messed up if he was being the right parent he should be.
Correct.
I don't even think, and he's in the home. Well, sort of, but you know what I mean.
Right.
It's amazing. Like, it's amazing to me how people could think raising a child by yourself is something to be upheld. And I wouldn't even want to do that as a man. Like, no. Like, no, you cannot do it you cannot. My mother always says, thank God I have your father because raising 3 boys, you guys, she would have been dead. She said, I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. She had that, and that's what we should be highlighting, not Cam Newton putting on a freaking looking like some pimp on a freaking broadcast on YouTube, talking to a woman that is a baby mama herself, interviewing him. And
she's not a baby mama. She wasn't a baby mama. No, she ain't got no kids. Yeah, she ain't got no kids.
I thought she was.
She is actually your dream woman. She's a 40-year-old with no kids and a doctor, and she is fine as fuck.
Something's wrong with her. She didn't do it right. If she's 40-year-old, that's a fact.
She was chasing that career, and a lot of our sisters are. And I don't blame them.
Women should chase a career, no problem. I'm all for it. Like, I want a career woman because she's paying bills over here, but at the same time, I think that women need to keep an extra eye out because it's more important for them to secure a man, a good man, and vet him properly, right? It's not like a man dates a younger woman, he's a stud. The woman dates a younger boy, she's a MILF and all this stuff. And a cougar, and they got all the worst names,
right.
Boy.
Right.
But it's like, why are we highlighting this shit? Like,
I thought it was good for the culture, Antoine. The reason why I thought it was good for the culture because somebody finally called that shit out.
People been calling me all week about those particular topics not because it's a goal or anything like that.
No,
it captured the mannerisms and how uncomfortable the conversation is, even with them having all of the resources. Because see, here's the real that's the macro look, right?
Right.
No, that's the micro. They are celebrities and entertainers, and they are this big in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? These guys are one of
Let's
one.
talk about celebrities, man. Why are we talking? That's not even a real realm of a topic.
Exactly, and that's what I'm highlighting right here.
Yeah,
The
it's like
other side of it is that there are men that are below the poverty line that have the same metrics as the Nick Cannons and the Cam Newton.
Exactly. Got 10 to
yeah,
12
those are
kids
the
out
ones
here
that
by
are
6
sexually
different mothers.
They
undisciplined,
got
man.
the same talking points, and what I'm talking about is like the single mother, the single father community is in the same bag, you know, because they create each other. It's not, coming from outside influence. Like in the other context is this right here too. Typically when I say that the single parents are raised by single parents in most cases, well, Cam Newton's a preacher's kid.
Yeah. Had both parents home.
But we know the prestige that comes with being a preacher's kid. We've seen them. Everybody's universal understanding of preacher's kids is the same. You know what I'm saying? They usually have the most access to everything. They're usually pretty spoiled, and then that's the average preacher kid.
He embarrassed the shit out of his dad with that conversation. To be honest with you, he embarrassed the hell out
Of
of his dad
course, his whole family, man.
he was trying to use Bible sources to actually, and you said that, Vic, you said that a long time. You said about maybe like 10 episodes ago. You were talking about these dudes out here using Bible sources to be, in polygamous relationships, pretty much.
Yep. I'm gonna pull that up. And it was some people that was like, no, that's not true. Okay. Because
and I just want to say this. And I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you because
go ahead.
I feel passionate about this subject matter right here, because when you say that this podcast, Accountable Masculinity, listen to that, Accountable Masculinity. This is 100% accountable on men. It's the accountability of men. So the thing is like this: if you are Cam Newton knows he has 8 kids. But women everywhere don't know Cam Newton has 8 kids, right? So at the end of the day, you have to say that because Cam Newton definitely knows he has 8 kids, he is accountable for saying to himself, I already have 8 kids by 3 different baby mamas. I don't need a 9th, a 10th, 11th, because he said on the damn interview that he wanted more. He said he wanted more. He already ain't taking care of the damn 8 emotionally. You know what I'm saying? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
So right there, it's not enough for him to go around based on just the eye test,
Yeah.
Then that comes into, like, even though it's been about men being held accountable or however we're looking at it, right? What about the women that know the metrics and still choose to be in a situation anyway?
No.
How do you feel? I understand. How do you feel about it?
So no, I get what you saying. I get what the people that are saying that are saying. I get that, but this is all male problems right here. This is all on us because Cam Newton and Nick Cannon know how many kids they have. They've been told why it's wrong to have that many damn kids. That doctor wasn't the first one that told them niggas what the hell was wrong. She was not the first one that told them niggas that shit was wrong. Somebody had already told them niggas that shit was wrong, but they went ahead and wanted to do that on their own and keep on reproducing one after another, after another, after another. So the thing is that, yes, you do have some women that know that these dudes have 8 kids, and that's crazy. I don't see how any woman would be okay with that. Not unless you're looking for the bag.
Okay with that. You're okay with the check.
Exactly. Okay, you're looking for the bag. So that gives you right. That gives you right. That gives you that answer. Now we're gonna get off. We're gonna do what Antoine said. We're gonna come off the celeb status, and we're gonna come to normal individuals. Normal individuals. There are niggas out here that have 10, 12 kids by 7, 8 different women. So the thing is that these dudes don't have no platform. So how the hell does that woman know that he got 12 kids?
Oh, come on now.
She hold on, Antoine. She asked this man, how many kids do you have? He says, I ain't gonna lie, I got 5. He ain't gonna say the 12, Antoine, because the 12 checks him out. Women are just like us. The thing is like this, Antoine. When we hear woman and we say how many kids you got, she say 5. Okay, you ain't gonna lie. Your heart kind of drops a little bit because you were interested and you like 5 kids, but then you try to say, hey, are they all by the same dude to try to make it a little better, you know? And then as soon as she says no, drops even more, and you pretty much check out. Women are the same way, bro. Women don't want to. They don't want
to be stepmothers.
Exactly. Women don't want to be stepmothers. They do not want. They talk shit about us, but women don't want to be stepmothers even more than we don't want to be.
Real, man. If you guys are talking like, let's be real, man. Let's talk. Let's be honest, man. Any woman that's got her shit together, any man that's got their stuff together, they ain't looking for that kind of woman, and that woman ain't looking for that kind of man.
This is true. This is very true. Right.
Okay, that's the one I want to speak on, because the other ones I can't save them. I don't want to save them. I need them to grow. I need them to drown, because I need them to drown. I need them to go away. I need them to go away. Yes, go away.
I got you.
You guys are not dating. You have no idea how hard it is to find a fresh one. Most of them come with a mini-me, and it's very frustrating, man. You guys, I don't understand. It's like walking into a supermarket and all the bananas are stale. It's unbelievable. You guys have no idea how hard it is to find a fresh one. You have no idea. You're not in the dating world. You just speak and you talk. Great, I get it. Statistically, I can tell you statistically, you got to be like, boy, don't even get me started. It's just a shame that this is what I'm left with out there. And no man that's financially sound wants to take care of another man's mistake unless he's dead. Unless he's dead, you want something that you're going to experience it the same time as her. That would be the ideal for me. Like everything I'm experiencing for the first child, she's experienced. I don't want to hear, yeah, I've been through this already. Don't worry, it burps up a little bit. Everything's good. Just wipe. I know. Let's, like, man, you guys, you talk. I get, and we can't compare ourselves to Cam Newton and all that sort of stuff. No. I just think I'm just still lost on why a woman would have a man that has a kid already. Why she would even find him interested? Like, why? Because he's tall and he's got a good D? Like, what is it that's making you go to this loser? And then all they do is spread it for these pookies, and then after complain later, blaming all men, especially a black one. And then we're here trying to justify it. The men, I blame the men too. Lord of mercy, these men are stupid. Like, but those are losers. I can't fault them. They don't know no better. They didn't have a daddy growing up. They don't know no better.
What I liked about the whole and we're gonna go back to the celeb on this part. I know you don't want to, Antoine, but we're gonna go back to it. When she talked to Nick Cannon, and she was talking to him how he manipulates women. You know what I'm saying? I love that part because a lot of men don't realize that there's a lot of men that do shit like that really manipulate women. So yes, you may have this woman out here, Antoine, that you say, well, I can't find a woman without a child. Well, here's the thing. There may be a woman that's the bomb, that's the shit, that's got a child. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Now you say, well,
ain't nothing wrong with that. What are you talking about? Was she married? Why do you say that? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
What I'm saying is when women are manipulated into things and that happens, is that woman's fault that she got manipulated, bro? Like,
I get manipulated every time when I'm paying for dinner. Every time I'm paying for dinner, I get manipulated.
And your stupid ass still paying for dinner, $500 a month. You said it.
No. Because I let her know I can afford it and I want to eat. So I'd rather eat with company than alone. But I choose where we're going to go, and I choose if I'm going to have paid for you. I let them know straight out. There's no manipulation there. Shit, so, if I'm going to give you a Cartier watch, you damn well go spread it for as many times as I want, period. And it's an understanding. There's an exchange there. But I'm just saying, the minute a woman hears a man has a kid or he had a past without being married and he's not sustaining his own lifestyle, why are you even entertaining the thought? Like, why? So like, that's like unbelievable to me.
So you mentioned manipulation, right? And so I want to play this clip from.
I manipulate women. I want to get laid too. You think I want to be alone every Saturday night? What are you crazy?
Yeah, but we're talking about
what are you talking about?
We're talking about a different type of manipulation, though.
Oh.
Because I introduced a topic about like poly, right?
Mhm.
Most of the sexually undisciplined men are gonna bring up something about King David and King Solomon. They're gonna use a lot of scripture stuff to justify why they're supposed to have more than one wife. And in most of those cases, the men that's saying this stuff, they don't have the resources to talk like that. See, kings in the Bible, in the religious text, were ordained by God, right? And it's because they already had the resources to support what they was talking about. These men had concubines. Most men cannot afford a concubine. And when you break that down, those men will use that as part of their code of how they deal with the world and how they move with women and how they perceive relationships and they value within that. Most of those men are going to, at some point, come back to why these women are supposed to be loyal to them despite their behavior. When you start breaking it down, because I introduced. So this is something that we saw coming, you know. I've always seen it. And like, I study cults a lot in my off time, right? Cults do not work without women being willing to be manipulated. So ultimately, it requires a participant. Are women smart enough to avoid these things? I believe so. But like if they go into it looking for a check, that's a different situation. Like what Antoine was talking about also. That's another variable. But then you got the ones that still go out here and give themselves to these guys.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead, baby. What you want to know?
How many kids you have?
I got 33 daughters
How,
and 13 boys,
damn.
22 baby mamas,
How many
2 ex-wives, 12 grandkids, only out of 3 daughters. So imagine when the other ones get to pop at all. And a lot of times y'all don't know the situation what I was going through on child support, bitch. Let me tell y'all stinking assholes something. In the last 40 years, all y'all stinking assholes who put y'all daddies, y'all brothers, y'all husband, and y'all baby daddies on child support, all y'all did is help the system gain 43 million black brothers and sisters is in jail for child support, you stupid motherfucker. And all you did is tore up your fucking family, you dumb bitch. Then you wonder why a nigga don't want you.
That's embarrassing, man.
Like, and look, a lot of the guys
embarrassing,
that
man.
fit the macro that,
Mhm.
that are like cheering, you know what I'm saying, the highest levels of promiscuity that they shouldn't be participating in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a large demographic of men that's already in that conversation with no money,
Mm-hmm.
with nothing involved, you know.
Just wondering what woman would sleep with that. I don't know what you guys are looking at. I'm looking at it.
Apparently, he got 22.
I'm trying to find one. This guy's got 22, and I'm thinking, what woman would pray for that? Like, what is
Yeah.
without a check involved? Understand?
I'm asking that same thing. I'm asking that same thing.
He said he had 22 baby moms.
Proudly. These men are like scum of the scums, man. Bottom of the barrel. You know, actually, the crud underneath the barrel. They didn't even make it in the barrel. Holy kablungers, man. Like, I just to even hear that number is like, dude, I'm trying to find one with a woman. You got 22 and you got 22 women? Oh, Lord have mercy. Ooh, boy, oh,
Bro,
boy.
well,
The community is so, it's so done.
Because like, I'm gonna show you that. So that's the broke version of Nick Cannon, right? There's a broke version of all of these men. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
And by broke, I mean just in mentality. At least they take ownership. You know what I'm saying of what's going on. But the guys on the opposite end frequency, they move this way.
I got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. Now, for the past few days, I've been going live telling my story, speaking my truth. And a lot of women having an issue calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times, they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. but only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied, because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that gonna have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with, because you're gonna be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this shit and be like, black man this, black man that, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Dude, I have the utmost respect for that guy. The utmost respect for that guy. Why? Because he told them. He told them. And they chose to spread it. But he told them. I have the utmost respect. He was upfront. He said he don't want no kids. You decided to lay down and spread it. You deserve whatever you get.
Antoine, you don't want no kids. Strap up. You don't want no kids. You don't want no kids. Get a vasectomy. Why is it no? Why is it no? Why is it no when it comes to the male responsibility of him not creating children? Why is it a no? Why do we got to act like fucking kids? That's my question. Why do we got to act like fucking kids? Like we can't control our dick.
No. I will explain it to you. First of all, look at the type of man we're dealing with. So forget rules. Look at the type of
nigga. That's right.
Okay, great. That's one out of the thing. Secondly, he told them. Thirdly, I'm the woman. I'm supposed to be the educated one or most enrolled, whatever they're claiming today. My choice. You want to get an abortion? I can't say nothing about it. And he's right. I told him I didn't want to be a kid. You still decided to give it up to him. It is out of his responsibility after that. Because he told you what type of man he was. He told you didn't want kids. After that, that's all on you. You deserve it. The only one that's paying the price for these women's hoish actions are the children. That's it.
For their hoish actions, bro. For their hoish actions. Because both them niggas went raw. He went raw with a jump off, bro. Are you serious? That is the definition of a hoe. He went raw with a jump off, bro. Who goes raw with a jump off, bro? Are you trying to die?
Don't try to move
especially undisciplined man.
No, don't try to move the goalpost, Cavi. Stick to
moving the goalpost.
You are, because you're trying to say he's a responsible man. And he's not. And I said that from the jump. He's not a responsible man. You shouldn't expect that from him. I'm saying if a woman knows she's not with a responsible man and decided to spread it, that's on her. He told her. He said he's not a responsible man. He said he didn't want to take care of kids. Where do the men lose after? That's not his responsibility. He said it. Mm-hmm. Just like if a man, if you want a kid and I say get an abortion, I cannot force you to have an abortion. I'm telling you, I can't afford a kid. Your job is to say what? Well, I still want the kid. Am I wrong? And I'm a self-made man, and I'm telling you, I don't want to have a kid with you.
Well,
I made a mistake. You're right.
Antoine, we're on a podcast called Accountable Masculinity.
Then bring on
Not
an accountable man. Bring on an accountable man.
femininity.
That
So
wasn't an accountable man.
we're talking about the mistakes that men make.
That's
You
not
know
an
what I'm saying?
accountable man, though.
Because this nigga got 7 kids that he got to
He's
take
not
care
an
of legally.
So let me you're talking about accountable masculinity. You need to be an accountable man. He's not, so you can't talk about him in that light.
That's ultimate, and what that's the point. Like when you draw the line, this is like all of it's true, right? Like I say, all things are true. You can't. Okay, let's flip it this way, right? If a man decided to be baby daddy number 6, whose fault is that?
That's him, of course.
Okay.
All right. So does every man and every woman have full agency of their own body?
Yep, yeah. I like how you said that. Does every woman and every man? That's right. So this is both parties. It shouldn't be thrown on one party.
But I'm asking this: if it's consensual, that means somebody made a choice.
Both of them made a choice, bro.
Yeah. If it's consensual, both made a choice.
Both made a choice.
They made it. Got it. Do you think a risk assessment should be done before you make a decision as a responsible adult?
on both parties, right?
Yeah. And so, like that dude that I played the video of, he looked at it like he just said, if you can get pregnant, you should probably guard your womb better from men like me.
What more you want him to say?
And what I'm saying is that we're having a conversation to capture examples of the worst men also. And we're drawing the line because you got men that are sexually undisciplined and you got men that are sexually disciplined.
That's right.
And what you just showed is a sexually undisciplined man. Exactly what you just showed.
Exactly. So like, and what if every man and every woman have full agency of their body, and this guy tells you exactly what he's about, you don't get to blame him.
Exactly.
The guys that they could have had, the guys that they could have had access to, that they might have floating around in their friend zone, that they won't give any time of day to. I had a friend of mine hit me up one day, and he told me about this woman that he was pursuing. She got divorced and then started hanging out more with the guy that she was cheating on anyway, right? And then when she wouldn't give him the attention that he was trying to give her from the friend zone, pretty much, he gets a call from her one day and she says she's pregnant by the dude that she was messing around with. You know what I'm saying? And he's gone. So she had a chance at being with a guy that would have had a kid with her and everything and been good to her. But she chose a situation that puts her directly in the crosshairs with the least amount of options. You know what I'm saying? For success. So, like, you can't be independent and then claim to be unprotected, right? And I understand that there are men that have to have, all men have to have agency of themselves and responsibility of themselves, because you can't live an undisciplined life and expect more disciplined results than anything, right? But these men that have abandoned all moral code and have established that, like Cam Newton said, I'm gonna make some more babies, and you know what I'm saying. He didn't say I'm gonna make them with the women that I got. He just said I'm gonna make some more babies, and you can get in where you fit in, pretty much. You know, Nick Cannon obviously has said these things in so many different ways because he cares about his legacy. Women have to be conscious and honest about what they signing up for too, especially if you're an adult.
Exactly. I don't see what, and that's why I cannot hold that man accountable. Hold him accountable to what? He's already put himself in that category.
Hold him accountable because he knows
he's accountable.
He's going to go in there raw. So at the end of the day, if you know you're gonna go in there raw, you already got 7 fucking kids, bro. There is such thing called a vasectomy, bro. Go ahead and get your vasectomy. That way you don't produce any other kids. These men don't want kids. Get a fucking vasectomy. It's literally a day process, bro. That's how you gotta do it. Or use a condom, one or the other.
These men don't care about that.
I'm not an accountable man, Kathy.
And them type of niggas gotta have had about 10 STDs throughout their lifetime, bro.
Yo,
for real. You have
men,
to hold them men accountable, bro. Because
we're not saying-
they the ones spreading AIDS in the goddamn community. They doing crazy shit doing that.
Can we understand this? It's not that they're not being held accountable, right? There's just this
is why we fail as a community, bro. Because we're not holding us men as accountable as we should be held. We're not doing it.
I'm not accountable.
We need to stop looking at men as fucking sexual deviants. Like we can't control ourselves. Like no, that's not how that works.
That's what accountable masculinity is about. We're having this discussion to draw the line between. See, the hard, you know, like when Kendrick Lamar and that Drake beef was going on, and Kendrick said some line that you distort the perception of what real women are, right? To Drake in that line. Accountable masculinity is about drawing the line of demarcation between the responsible man and how he thinks, the disciplined man and how he thinks, and the man that's irresponsible and undisciplined in how he thinks. Because these are the men that destroy and distort the perception of healthy masculine men that are responsible. But if you don't give them the example of what to choose and what not to choose, then you distort what right looks like. That's my point. So, like, it's some people that you never gonna be able to help. Bro, everybody can't go. So we identifying the people that can't get on the boat.
We just listened to a nigga that got on here and made a TikTok about, oh, I got 7 women pregnant. I told every seven of them that I don't want no kids. You need to get the abortion.
He's a warning label.
And look. So the thing is that we're sitting here believing this nigga. Like, people do shit to go viral all the fucking time. Maybe he did tell 7. I tend to think that he probably told 3 out of 7. That was the last 3 that he told.
I don't care how many
he probably told 3 out of 7. He damn sure didn't tell the first one that. Because who the fuck would say that as your first kid? Who's going?
Hey, what if he got 21? Like Buddy just said, he had 22 baby mamas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
what
he fucked up.
What if and they only telling us what they remember? You know what I'm saying? So my point being is that if he told 3, would he be less? Would he be less responsible? Come on, man. Like if you look at the warning label on cigarettes, right? It says may cause cancer, and people still smoke it.
People still smoke it.
All right, so it's the same thing. Look, do you do drugs? Probably not. If they made drugs legal today, would you start doing drugs?
No.
That's the point. Everything out here is available and it's a choice, but at some point you got to arrest your nature. And if you think that you're going to get accountability from someone that has already shown you that he's not going to take care of the children he already made, he didn't marry none of the women that he made the kids with. That's even if he's coming for, because I understand there's some exception where some men are able to hide some children, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about like undisciplined and unhealthy men are distorting the narrative, right? The healthy men are the ones that's in the fray of the conversation where women are saying, you need to hold him accountable. Are you going to be his stepdaddy as a grown man because he can't control his balls?
Yeah,
that's what you're asking. And that's irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, obviously he was failed as a child a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? In some ways. Obviously. So we can't wait till we got a bunch of men with gray beards sitting up here talking about holding other men accountable that's not responsible for walking this man to the bathroom. He don't need to get his ass wiped.
Bro,
he need to women need to steer clear of the men. Women need to steer clear of the men that have failed to demonstrate their ability to take care of the existing
that man, the 7 out of 7 and the 43. You know what I'm saying? That had 43
baby mamas. We want to say
22 baby mamas, right?
22 women laid down.
Those men are a failure of the culture. They are a failure of the culture. They are a failure of our morale, period. Because how do those type of men even get made? How did those men even get made in a culture, bro? That's how sick our fucking culture is,
do
bro.
you-
How does that even get
Do you want to
made
answer?
in your culture?
You're wondering that?
do you want to answer?
Where? Because you don't see it anywhere else.
Do you-
you don't
do you
see
wanna
stupid
answer?
shit like that anywhere else.
I can't even believe you're wondering that. Well, you're wondering that.
Antoine,
and I'm wondering-
Antoine, show me the Jew that has 43 kids by 22 baby mamas. Show me this dude. I want to see him. Show me. I want to see him. I want to see the Asian man that has that. I want to see the Indian that has that. I want to see the Arab that has that.
You keep bringing it back.
Why does this only exist in nigga communities? That's what I'm asking.
I know the answer. Come on, Antoine, because like
You
I
keep
answer
bringing
after
it-
that. I like the question.
You guys keep bringing it back to the freaking men. I'm wondering if I'm a woman, and I cannot believe you guys keep skipping over this like it don't mean shit. Men don't have babies. Women have babies. Men don't carry it. Women carry the babies. And I don't understand how you cannot understand the logic of you're a woman. The guy tells you he has kids and you're spreading it for them. Like, Kathy, how can you not see the woman has the main object? Woman gives birth. They're the ones that have the baby. How can you not see that? They are the main keepers of the gate. They are the gatekeepers. And you keep skipping how irresponsible men. I'm still wondering what
because where is the protection for women? Where is the community and the culture?
Like they need protection today. What bullshit?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, what protection from them?
I'm muting both of y'all. Yeah, y'all done. Like, so let me wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Let me wrap up what you asked, Cavi. You said, where's the protection? What other communities look like this, and why does our community look like this, right? We are looking at the matriarchal part of our community, because being in the homes, like we talked about last week, you know, like with sex education and everything, right? Your dad had an impact on you making decisions with your, you know what I'm saying, with your sexual reproductive capacity, right? These men have either heard it from a father or a male figure and witnessed somebody doing something completely different. You know what I'm saying? This is learned behavior replicated. So when you're asking the question of how this mindset has been allowed to exist, most of this comes from households where women run the household. To Antoine's point, where he's talking about women are the gatekeepers, and he's absolutely right. If you leave the continental United States and you go to other places, the ongoing narrative is that if you show me your women, you show me your culture. No matter how it might look, people might focus on, like, if you go to a Muslim, a place where it's, you know what I'm saying, dominated by Islam, there's a dress code. There's a higher responsibility on a spiritual level that governs the way that you behave and act. And then you have certain cultures, like Antoine's from a place where traditional culture governs the way men and women interact with one another. Our community, in terms of Black people in America, experienced too many losses in the leadership capacity as men for a long time, for whatever reason. You can say racism, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, the war on drugs, all of those things play a factor into that also. We get it. We understand that part. But we're being reduced from having a predominantly patriarchal community that shows where we were married, and, you know, up until 1965 at an 80% rate, and we had a community then. But now we don't have that anymore. You know, we're fighting against that. And what you're seeing is the symptoms of that impact in that fight, because no other community has been, like all the communities you name, they weren't targeted the same way that the Black community was targeted when it comes down to the nuclear family. And I don't think that part can be dismissed. I think it can be recaptured with the people that care about it the most versus
Vic.
Go ahead.
In 1968, you wouldn't find no nigga that had 43 kids by 22.
No way. You wouldn't find that. No way.
So why are we talking about, you know, how the black demographic was affected by slavery or us
No,
being
I didn't mention
targeted.
slavery.
We'll say us being targeted. So the thing is that apparently at some point, Vic, we beat that. At some point we beat that because you wouldn't have found nobody in 1968 that had 43 kids by 22 different baby mamas.
Let me tell you how we beat it though. And segregation prevented that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they redlined communities and they told black people you can't cross the street, you can only buy homes over here, it forced the communities to work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another. See, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of socio-political lines that's been drawn in this. You know what I mean? You got a generation of black men and women that's been raised by grandma. Then you got a generation of black men and women that's been raised by their moms. And we're looking at all of this dysfunction, whether it be on social media or popular TV and media, play itself out. So much so that at some point, some people went without so long and so often that their best representation of a two-parent home was the Cosby Show. It was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for some people, you know what I'm saying? Which was really a representation of a blended family. Hell, even look at our current politics right now. Well, Kamala, she is in a blended family right now and running on behalf of the Democrats, right? So, needless to say, we've always had to make modifications to what we think a family should look like. And so when you name all those other communities, you get into a lot of great details that's probably going to be good topic material for another discussion, because somebody's going to bring up reparations. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to bring up. I understand. See how Antoine just said like he just lurched because
we're so good at blaming other people for our own asinine shit.
And Antoine, what I'm saying is that there at some point, just like black people want to, like Antoine believes we should just take ownership of our situations, right? Yeah. How can we take ownership of our community if people don't take ownership of their own bodies?
That's where it starts.
And that's kind of a checkmate, Vic. That's kind of a checkmate, Vic. Like I said. And like I said, that's kind of a checkmate, Vic, because what I'm simply saying is that man needed to take those men needed to take control of their own bodies.
They don't care about community.
If you don't want kids, that don't matter.
They don't care about community.
The culture needs to teach men.
You are cute.
Take care of your body. Just like you say, a woman is the gatekeeper of a kid. This is true, but a man is a gatekeeper of his seed. A woman can't make. We ain't got a bunch of Virgin Marys. We ain't got Virgin Marys out here, Vic. These women ain't pregnant. These women ain't impregnating themselves, Vic.
Accountable men and accountable women.
Look, Kevin,
Vic, you making up a bunch of bullshit excuses. I'm
not. Kevin, I agree with what you're saying. We're telling you that all men are not created equally.
Accountable.
That's obvious. That's
That's right. The point. The negative men have to have a warning label. See, what people are doing is getting pregnant by red flags that they try to paint green.
But Vic, he's asking a criminal. But Vic, he's asking a criminal not to commit a crime. It's a criminal, man.
It's crazy. He already.
What I'm saying is, how do you get to the criminal mentality? How do you get to that?
I don't want to.
We have to prevent that. Fellas, are we here for solutions? Are we here to just bitch about?
I am not here for that.
Stupid motherfuckers do. I mean,
I think what it is, Kevin, you want us to have
a solution to what the problem is.
I have a solution.
Have a solution for this man that got 7 kids. This man that got 43. Have a solution to not make that type of nigga again. How do we do that?
No, the solution is warning women to avoid men like that. That's the solution. He can't have sex if you don't give him none.
I don't understand why I'm trying to save a criminal.
It's like complaining about
to shoot each other. I need them to shoot each other.
Hey, go ahead, Antoine. I got something to say. Go ahead, Antoine. Like you can't complain. Okay, we complain. Put it like this: we talk about how media exploits black people, right? And we go do dumb shit all the time to give the media a chance to run amok, right?
Right.
We go to Maury Povich, we go to paternity court and take all our business there
Yeah.
instead of solving our own problems, right? Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
what women do with their vaginas when they take it to a dude that already demonstrated 7 previous times that he ain't finna take care of the children that he made. And they keep doing it. You can't complain about Tommy Hilfiger or whatever brand that you like if you keep spending your money with them. If you keep taking your currency to the wrong consumer, you can't get mad when they wear it the wrong way. All I'm saying is stop shopping with them. How about boycott poor sexual discipline? We boycott everything else and then we be off of it for 2 days.
Yeah.
You got to boycott the wrong meat, and men got to boycott the wrong women.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? How about take that whole boycott strategy that people like to use on social media and X out the people that don't qualify and let them cannibalize each other based on their own.
There you go. There you go.
That's it. They're like, so checkmate that.
You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. There's no checkmate there. There's no checkmate there. There's no checkmate there because like I said.
But Cavi, answer this question. Why do you
trolling?
Why do you care? Why do you want to
No,
say
I'm not trolling because at the end of the day, what happens, fellas, is that if we keep allowing people like that to be produced and be actually, bro, we as a people, we as a culture, that's how this shit is happening because we're completely ignoring that these motherfuckers are being made. Y'all do realize that, right?
I'm not signing up to be a stepdaddy for a dude that can't control his balls.
There you go.
You can't tell a woman not to spread it. What are you doing?
It's her body, her choice.
Her body. You can't tell a woman not to do that. Why do you? And my question to Cavi is, why do you care about these men? Why do you care about saving these men?
It's not the man. It's not the man. And I'm not an individual person, so it's not the man individually. It's like what is lurking in our community. It's the safety of our women. We have to teach these dudes that end up like this at a very young age to have pride in themselves.
And what do we teach the women? How to tie their legs?
To have pride. We already teach the women how to have pride. I don't know
no
father.
Teach the women how to have pride.
Hold on. As a father, and you know this as well, Antoine. Are you really going to not have that conversation with your daughter as a father? Of keeping your legs closed, making sure you keep this for the special person. You're going to have that conversation with your daughter. However, Antoine, you're probably not going to have that same conversation with your son. You're probably not going to have that same conversation with it because at the end of the day, our culture, and this is just socially, we don't talk to our sons like we talk to our daughters. We don't have those in-depth conversations with our sons like we have with our daughters. If our sons say, "Hey, Dad, I just lost my virginity," and he's 17 years old. Oh man, brother. Hey man, welcome to the man's league. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the club, homeboy. You did good. You did good. Now you're saying you do that with a little girl, and little girl comes to you and says, "Hey Dad, I lost my virginity at the age 17." It's not the same reaction, Antoine. This is life, Antoine. This is realistic.
Narrative. You know
that is not a false narrative. That's not a false narrative.
Listen, man. First of all,
so if your son lost his virginity, what conversation would you have with your son?
First of all, before my son even loses his virginity, I'm going to tell him what my father told me. I'm telling you now, son. I'm telling you right now. You're going to experience women. I'm going to make sure you cover it up. Make sure you are responsible. But I'm telling you now, you bring home a girl that's pregnant, I'm kicking you and her out my house. Done deal. You're cut off. Go make your own life. You're finished. And that's exactly how that conversation is going to go. You ain't living under this roof. I have no love for you under this roof, but you can damn well make your own love over there. I'm done. That's how hard I'm going to be on him. Because that's how hard my father was on me. And none of us, out of all three of our brothers, none of us made a mistake.
Antoine, are you suggesting to me that a father is going to be harder on his son about losing his virginity than his daughter?
No, he's going to be hard on his daughter too. But I think
he's going to be harder on his daughter. Reason being is because your son gets a girl's pregnant, he ain't got to be in that life. He can run away. But if your
the
daughter
hell.
get pregnant, she has to take care of that baby. So at the end
We
of the
ain't-
day, that's the reason why the conversation. See, you don't like to hear the truth. See,
No,
that's the
it's
reason
not
why the
true.
conversation changes when we talk to when we
But
talk
you're
to
right
little
here.
girls.
You're right here trying to blame these men, and I'm like, you should have that conversation.
I blame men. I'm supposed to blame them. I'm supposed
No,
to blame
you're
them
saying
because
women are
both of
protected.
those men are pieces of shit, and they
And what are
can
the women?
protect
And what are the
and
women?
they
Tell
can
me what the women
protect
are.
themselves.
Tell me what the
They
women
can
are.
protect
Tell me what the
themselves.
women. If the men are a piece of shit, tell me what the women are.
I don't know what game them dudes use to get inside.
Wait a
them.
minute.
I
Wait a
don't
minute.
know
But
that.
tell me what the women are that. Tell me what the women are that spread it. Tell me what they are.
I just
You're saying
told
about the
you
men.
I don't know the game that those men use. Like I said, when I
Oh,
talked
so now
about
you're
Nick,
saying women. So now you're saying women don't have
when I talked about
accountability for it.
no, look, I just told you about Nick Cannon and how he
Forget
explained
the
to the
celebrities.
world. He
No,
explained to
Cavi, I asked
Antoine, you can't
no,
take
you're
away
not
what the
listening.
man said
I
just
asked
because
you
he's
a
a fucking
specific-
celebrity.
I asked you a specific question. Specifically, I said, you said those men are that. I said, okay, what are the women? What are the women that spread it for these guys that knowingly do it? What are they?
Access Antoine. I don't
What?
know. I have
So how
no
come you know the
idea.
men but you don't know the women? How come you know the men but you don't know the women?
Because the men are running the game, Antoine. What the fuck?
Oh,
where
and
you
these women,
nigga?
these women aren't, wait a minute. I just want to be clear. So these women aren't running game on them, right? When they know
from
they
the two individual niggas that we just saw, no, the women are not running game on them
But yeah,
niggas. The
you see,
men
that's
are
what
running
I mean.
game on them.
You're changing. You're moving the goalposts. I asked you something.
I'm not. That's what motherfuckers say. That's losing the debate.
No, you're moving the
That's what they
goalposts.
say.
Don't laugh it off. I asked you a specific question. If the men are the dogs and the men are and these women know these men have multiple babies, these women know these men ain't shit just based on looking at them. These women know what these men are telling them. Women know these men are running games because they specifically say it. And you say what to that? You don't know them? Really?
Dude,
does a prostitute know she's a prostitute?
I told Vic.
Does a prostitute know she's a prostitute? Does a prostitute know
yeah, she know that. She knows
so if
that.
I'm a
Of course
woman
she
and I'm
knows that.
if I'm a woman and I'm sleeping with a scumbag like that, what does that make me?
Bro, like I said, you don't know how he gained access.
No.
You don't know how he gained access.
No. I believe you need to answer the question.
Y'all motherfuckers are crazy.
I'm not.
So y'all can't think this deep to get there. Y'all can't get here with me. Y'all can't get here with me.
He asking you a very direct
Hey, you know what? Y'all got it.
You
got it. You got it. You got it. That's all I can say.
Question. Because if we say, what do we call men that do this to women, right? We say sexually undisciplined. We say these men are whores. These men are that. Okay.
Because they know exactly what the fuck they doing.
But the way that you're portraying your standpoint is as if every woman is innocent.
I'm not. No.
Because he asked you a direct question. If he said that these men have already
for these men,
he asked a very direct question where he said, if these men have told themselves,
I can unmute my goddamn self.
if he said that these men have projected themselves as being as such, and the women that choose to lay down with them still choose to lay down with them, what are they? That's a very direct question.
Y'all are believing two.
If you ain't ready,
y'all are believing two niggas. Do y'all not get that? You're believing two niggas. That's not what went down. These are two niggas.
You're telling me what those two niggas are, and I'm asking you those two niggas are like
they
that.
told you who they were. How you gonna believe two niggas?
So what are the women?
How you gonna believe two niggas? That don't even make no sense.
What are the women? So what are the women that choose it? That one of the women that make that decision,
bro.
What are they?
Okay. I'm gonna answer this for you. For the man or the woman that heard the man say out of his mouth, "I have 22 kids, and I'm not taking care of any of them motherfuckers. If you had this baby by me, I'm not gonna take care of that motherfucker either." That's a dumbass bitch.
Thank you. That's
completely. That's a dumbass bitch. That's a dumbass bitch. That's a dumbass bitch. But to say, but what I'm saying, Antoine and Vic, is from women number one. Listen, from women number 1 to 3. That's probably not the fucking case. That's what I'm saying to you. From women number 1 to 3, that's probably not the case.
Kenny got 12. Cam Newton got 8. I showed you a dude that got 22.
We already came to the conclusion that they running pockets. That's all they doing. They get the bag.
So my like at that level, when the money's involved, is get the bag.
They get the bag.
But when they doing it with a dude without no money, they dumbasses, right?
Yeah, when you number 22, absolutely.
It's just like if a dude was baby daddy number 5 or 4 or whatever number, he a dumbass too. You know what I'm saying? Like low level learners reproduce with low level learners. That's the whole point. And those people that are low level learners are usually sexually undisciplined and emotionally undisciplined.
And that's what I'm trying to get to, Vic. All I'm trying to say is how do we create a culture of sexually disciplined men? Ain't that the whole point of this podcast, of creating that culture?
And that's where like the culture of sexually disciplined men is more on the patriarchal side than the matriarchal side. Because if we talk about promiscuity and everything, like all of the abuse stuff that we started off with, and being 3 times more subjective, you know what I'm saying, in a single parent home than a 2-parent home, then every other thing that makes our culture what it is on the undisciplined side comes from the households that don't have men in. And they exist and they're a real thing, regardless of whether the man left the home or the woman dominated the man and pushed him out, or however the family tree was set up. That's regardless. That doesn't matter in the point. The 46% side, because I'm basing this off of single mother led homes being 50 and 46. So let's just assume for the sake of numbers sakes, 46% of homes are led by their fathers, right? Those men that got a good grip in their household, that's leading their household, teaching their kids right from wrong, and the value of their bodies, and the control of their seed for the boys, and the value of the womb for the young girls that's in their household. They're not experiencing this at the same rate as the men that have been raised without their fathers. That's the whole point of this. You know what I'm saying?
Without their fathers, right?
You're completely correct. In the absence of the father, you got a lot of over sexualized men and women running the street. Because
so how much do we blame men for absent fathers? How much do we blame men?
I would say we take the lion's share. We'll take the 51% and then get the women to 49. Look, my wife is even saying it.
Yeah, look, ultimately, nigga, you're not about to have me away from my child just because you emotionally crazy.
I'm going to put men a little bit more than 51%.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That's fine. Put them 65, but
we'll
fuck that. But women need to go ahead and own their part.
Yeah,
tell them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell them what they need to own up to.
Everything. Because ultimately, the man couldn't have got you pregnant if you wouldn't have opened your legs.
Huh? There you go. Jesus.
And a woman wouldn't have got pregnant. And a man ain't gonna get no woman pregnant without putting a dick up in there. So,
you absolutely right. But listen, women fail to realize how much control they actually have. Because look, as I ain't even agreeing with it, but most men don't have enough game to even get the women to just willingly give themselves to them. So the ones that do need to acknowledge the fact that, hey, I'm in control. I'm fully aware of the power of my vagina.
Come on.
Yep.
And most women, even if they're not fully aware, y'all know better.
Come on.
Because y'all not dumb.
Come on.
There you go.
Now, as much as y'all try to act like y'all dumb, y'all not dumb. You bitches are stupid. And stupid and dumb are different.
Keep coming. Keep preaching, baby. Come on.
Hey, where's the gun, man? Put some guns in there.
I didn't get I'll get you the gun.
So the man having sex with a jump off. What is he? What is he?
Dumb. He dumb. He should have put it in her butt or
65%, and we're gonna put 65% responsibility. You said put it in the butt. You can still get STD from the butt.
Put it in her butt or put it in her mouth.
We talking about babies.
Because listen, the common sense will tell you if you stick a dick in a vagina, the likelihood of getting pregnant is 50%. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Real people know that. But if you stick it in my mouth, nigga, I'm not getting pregnant. If you stick it in my butt, nigga, I'm not getting pregnant. But a lot of these hoes ain't got no self-control. And I ain't saying women, I'm saying hoes, because men are hoes too.
Oh yeah. And see now, Gina, you coming on my side because you said men are hoes. Men are hoes too, and that's all I want the world to know. I want the world to know men are whores too. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop just blaming these women. These niggas out here be hoes too.
Gabby, we could admit it. You didn't want to admit it. You could admit it. We forced you to admit it.
Look, I used to be a hoe, but I don't do that no more because that shit is exhausting. These dumbass women out here now, they acting like they not getting tired, but their behavior shows that they're tired. The fact that they can't even have a decent conversation with nobody and they automatically assume that every nigga is out to get them, they tired, but they don't know how to communicate that. So what's the best thing I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and get drunk tonight. I'm gonna go and do this. I'm gonna go get whatever nigga. Man, get out of here. You dumb, ma'am. You dumb. You dumb. And you niggas that fall for it, you dumb too.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
Right there.
That's just what it is. It just is what it is.
All right, y'all have a good night.
I said what I said about them reckless ass niggas, and I'm gonna stand by that shit. Them niggas is reckless. Them motherfuckers.
Gabby, we agree with you. The problem is we agree with you. You just didn't want to call out the women. We agreed with you.
Oh no, I will call out women.
But you
the
didn't.
thing is, hey, I'm not calling out 1 through 3, but I'll call out 4 through 22.
Shut up. You still even giving them a coupon. You giving them a coochie coupon.
I won't call out 1 through 3, but I'll call out 4 through 24. Absolutely.
Hey, look, tonight you were supposed to be on The View.
You know, I take that from Gabby.
I was supposed to be on The View. Damn, Vic. Like,
you giving coochie coupon.
No, because Vic, all I'm saying is that like that's a reality. Oh my God!
I'll give Gabby that one. Vic, I'm gonna give Gabby that one. I'm gonna give Gabby that one.
All right, let's say like to give you an example, and I know Antoine, you already hate it because it's celebrity, whatever.
Yeah, we get ready to wrap up too, fellas.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm gonna say this, like we'll say Russell Wilson and Sierra, right? Okay, so we all know that Sierra is a pretty good woman. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that Future ain't shit as a man. So she unfortunately gets caught up in those numbers. You know what I'm saying? Now, should Sierra have known better? That's my point in saying I don't know. I don't know what game he ran on her. I have no idea what game he ran on her. Yo, some of these niggas got some sick ass game out here, Vic.
I wish they'd write a book, man.
Bruh, there's some niggas out here got some shit. Bruh, Vic, I told you myself. I've seen it with my own eyes. Women break down from niggas that got strong game, bro. I didn't seen that, bro.
I am not disregarding that. But the dude with 22 baby mamas ain't got no game.
Obviously, you do.
No. The women don't have no options. That's what it is.
You're probably right.
Because he's not knocking down anything that anybody want to wife. A dude that knocked down 22 baby mamas is hitting off dust buckets. How many of those women would you potentially date behind him?
You remember I was telling you about my cuz, right? I would say out of all his, 2 probably would have been.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's less than 20%.
That's why I said I give you 1 through 3, 1 through 3, but 4 through 22. I
have to agree with Cabby on that one. I agree with Cabby on that. I agree with
what I'm saying is like if you look at a man's pie chart, if there was ever one, right?
Right.
Less than if he's being promiscuous, the fewest amount of women that fit the wifey category, they're not going to be in the 70%. They're going to be in the 30%.
Right.
Because if you aiming for just straight body count, you going at a by volume approach. It's about if you aiming at quantity, you're not gonna have a lot of quality in there. But if you aiming at quality, you got more restraint. And the men that fuck for sport, they don't throw them back.
No, they ain't throwing no fish back. Not at all.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's a meal for them because their
Mhm.
appetite is driven off of their biology.
You know what? You said you're gonna wrap this up. So the next jump, let's talk about them type of men. Because
We
we
can do
all
that.
know those, we all know those type of men. You know what I'm saying? We all know those type of men. And we have seen, what they can do to women.
You
Like
could lead
sensible
the
women. We
discussion.
talking about not even dumb women. We talking about sensible women.
I know what you're talking about. We're talking about the true narcissistic, dangerous men that play with a woman's emotions. You know what I'm saying?
They dope at it too, bro. They
Yep.
dope at it.
And look, that's what just comes with dating too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like we're talking about in this situation, we talk. There's a difference between what I believe is being completely promiscuous and then dating.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in the dating pool, Antoine can probably speak to this better than you know what I'm saying than most. Like you gonna get women that having a friend zone, right? Where they got multiple men in they spectrum, you know what I'm saying, that they got access to, and they get to she gets to evaluate them based on what she likes from them. So in the dating pool, women got more options than men.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be an interesting conversation.
Oh yeah. That'd be a dope ass conversation.
Antoine, what you got to say, man? Because Cavi done ran
Okay.
everybody's blood pressure up tonight.
Okay. Okay, I want you to say it one more time because I want to
I'm
make
glad
sure.
I got a white man to come in and talk her shit. Come on,
No,
Antoine.
Beck, do me a favor. Say it one more time clearly to me.
No, because it's gonna be another 15 minutes.
No, I just want to make sure because I have an answer, but I want to
trust it. I can't trust it.
I want to make sure I heard it right. Go ahead.
He's done. Hey, give me your. Hey, look, we're gonna close out with this because next week it's gonna be even better. So, what you got, Antoine? What you got for the audience? Because I know you. Got
I want to say this. I blame men more than women because, and I'll tell you why. And in a sense, I'm blaming men more than women in this aspect, in this scenario. A plant is not a plant until it's just a seed until you plant it in the dirt and it becomes a flower. So before that, it's just a seed. Women need to stop supplying the dirt, right? And men need to stop planting the seed. So, but these women, the innocent ones that in the beginning, like Cabby says, the 1, 2, and 3, I'm agreeing with him on that. Because some men have some extremely good game, and I've seen it too. And that's what women have to watch out for. But after you know what the man has told you and described, I 100% blame the woman for giving it up. Because he told you who he was, you vetted him, you believed the crap he was telling you, but you didn't vet him good enough, but you believed the shit he was telling you. And that being said, it becomes your responsibility after that. And what I really blame the women for is after you find out he's like that and you're pregnant, you still go through with having a baby. All of a sudden you're religious and you can't give it up for an adoption or abortion. That's where I blame the women, that part over there. Because I don't have a right to tell you to get an abortion because you ain't listening to me anyways. I lose all my rights at that point. So that's what I'm trying to say. The men before that, all us. After that, you women.
What you got, Cavi?
Hey man, like I said, man, I'm gonna stick by my guns and say, 1 through 3, I can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? But 4 through 22, yeah. At some point, I gotta just say you're pretty fucking dumb. At some point, you had to have known that this man had 22 damn kids. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I get what you guys are saying. I get what you guys are saying when it comes to the responsibility of women. Because you got to be asking questions. You got to be able to vet these men. You got to be, a little bit. You got to slow down and make sure that this man is worthy of your treasure. Vic, you were talking about that earlier. It's not a prize, it's a treasure. You know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that this man is worthy of that. Those two gentlemen that you showed on the videos, you can see just by them opening their mouth that both of them were fucking retards. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But at the end of the day, some women are attracted to that. And like you said, low level learners. You know what I'm saying? So you're attracted to stupid stuff like grills in your mouth and, what I'm saying, talking like a dumbass and, you can't even form a proper sentence. You're attracted to that. You're attracted to that aggressive behavior. I can't even call that masculine behavior because both of them displayed aggressive behavior. And that's usually who makes players, are really aggressive men. They are aggressive. They have no fear when it comes to women. It don't matter how beautiful she is. They don't have any fear when it comes to women. They're gonna go after them, and that's quite possibly why a lot of them fail for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you guys are right about a lot of it. Like I said, some women need to, take blame for that. Especially if you're dating a man that has 10 plus children, or I'll say 5 plus children. You got to really think about that. What can you possibly do with this guy? You got 5 kids right here. If he's not taking care of any of his kids now, what makes you think he's going to take care of the one that you're going to make? Now if you've had a hysterectomy or some shit like that and you can't have kids anymore, hey, go for it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But always remember that you're going to have to face those 5 kids' mothers at some time, at some point. And women don't like to do that. So, that's all I got to say.
Man, so great points, gentlemen. I'm going to close out with this right here. When you learn to become the treasure instead of the prize, you'll stop competing for the value of a title. Prizes are won and lost. Treasure is sought out and discovered for the one who seeks. Treasures are for people that value privacy and effort. If your mother wasn't a treasure to your father wasn't respected by your mother, and she was a trophy for the worst men. Instead, you need therapy if you want relationships to work. Prizes are for competitions. That's why women that are trophies are narcissists with a friend zone. There's a tournament that's ongoing in the friend zone that the men in the friend zone are unaware of. The men that women want to manipulate the most are the men that chase women. Women with unattractive personalities always want to be chased. Sexually undisciplined men and women that chase acknowledgement as the prize are just as problematic as the emotionally undisciplined men and women that they attract. Feminine women attract and reciprocate. Feminine women are treasures, while childish women are trophies looking to be pursued. So I'm saying that on the closeout because that's the point. Every woman isn't feminine. Every man isn't masculine. Every man and woman isn't sexually disciplined, and every man and woman isn't emotionally disciplined. That's the point. This podcast, the philosophy and the principles that make up accountable masculinity, is about drawing the line in the sand between those that are unhealthy versus those that are healthy. The community-minded men and women are different than the individualistic based thinking of the sexually undisciplined man and woman. Understand that. Self-gratification is at an all-time high. People are easily influenced by vanity. So you have to govern yourself accordingly and be on the lookout for people that do not share your same outcomes, goals, and dreams. And if they're not talking about those things, they're probably sexually undisciplined. With that being said, I'm out.
Peace.